What is up, YouTube? Your boy HPJ here. And do you like Cinderella? Do you like Emma Frost? Do you like Angelimon? Because we kind of got a Digimon that does all of that in one. This is Cendrillmon. And this is my Cendrillmon deck profile. I am currently still building Cendrillmon. I'm waiting for my store to have BT22 cards. I'm going to try to order some of the cards I need because I have them in my I have my cards ready in my uh, cart to be selected for payment, so I can get my Cendrillmon cards if I can't get them from my locals. Which 9 out of 10, it kind of looks like I'm not going to be able to get things from my locals. But I'm going to try to build Cendrillmon as best as I can starting off right now. So you can kind of say this is a combination of stuff from the starter deck, a couple of things from BT22, some of the stuff from EX9, and then just trying to work in whatever I could possibly work in. Because Cendrillmon needs a lot of pieces. I've seen maybe one or two variations, and it's Cendrillmon in Haguyamon. Haguyamon. And I'll try to see about Haguyamon support, but if I cannot get Haguyamon herself, her pieces are actually really good for Cendrillmon. So there is that option there. So I'm going to go ahead and go into his deck profile because there are still some pieces that I do like about it. But you'll notice what cards I'm going to be taking out once I get the other pieces. And even so, I'm still considering some other pieces to add to the deck as well. Starting off are my Digitama. I'm running the 4 copies of Cendrillmon from ST19. From there, I am running my rookies of 2 copies of Shumon. This is ST19 Shumon, and then this is EX7's Shumon. From there, I'm running 4 copies of Pawn Chessmon from the starter deck, and I'm also running. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Pawn Chessmon White, and then this is Pawn Chessmon Black that I'm also running. So those are my level 3s. For my level 4s, I am deciding to still run Tabukatmon from ST19. That's followed up by the 4 copies of Shumon from EX7 and the 2 copies of Shumon from ST19. From there are my level 5s. I'm running 2 copies of Cendrillmon from ST19, and then the 4 copies of Cendrillmon from EX7. Then for my megas, I'm running 3 copies of Shin Manzemon from the starter deck, and following that are the 1 copy of Cendrillmon from BT22, and then the 2 copies of Cendrillmon from ST19. And that's it for my Digimon. Sorry if this is like a little bigger or a little more less spaced out than what I normally have. So work with me here, people. Alright, from there we have our option cards. Actually, no, I shouldn't go into my option cards. I need to go into my tamers. My tamers are the 4 copies of ST19's Asara Kinosaki with the 2 copies of her from EX7. So that's it for my tamers. I'm going to move into my option cards, and my option cards are very much plenty. The 4 copies of Yellow Memory Boost, then the 4 copies of Physical Training with 2 copies of Yellow Scramble. So that's it. That's everything in the deck. The main, the side. This is the main, the side, and the extra. No, the main deck of 50, and the Digitama of 4. So let's start off with the Digitama. So for right now, I'm running Cendrillmon from the starter deck. When attacking once a turn, if you have another Digimon in play, you draw 1 card. There is the Cendrillmon from BT22 that works well with Puppet with its inheritable, that's the one I'll most likely be switching to once I get the chance, because it's going to definitely help out with um, setup, just organizing things, getting the deck, plays going through, especially with a lot of the newer stuff. So, for right now, those are just what's in for the Digitama. Now, let's go into the main deck. So, starting off are my two copies of Shushumon from Starter Deck 19. Reveal top 3 cards of your deck to then add one card with the trait of Puppet and one card with Liberator in its trait to your hand and place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. So hard play on a Shumon can actually get you basically everything in this deck, because everything in this deck is a Puppet or a Liberator. And being able to search for 2 means you can also search for your Tamers, because your Tamers have Liberator in their trait. So you can pick up your Tamer while also being able to pick up a Digimon in the process, and most likely set up for your turn. Now, this is something I will say. You need to run 4 of these. I am still going to try my best to get 2 more to fill in for the Shushumon. I could potentially just buy another structure deck just to fill it in, but then there's also the issue of there aren't too many other things I want from that structure deck, so it'd probably just be a little bit of pieces here and there. But knowing from what I know now, buying another starter deck could definitely save me some money, because oh my god, some of those cards in that starter deck are very expensive. From there, I am running the 2 copies of Shumon from EX7. EX7 Shumon says when it's your turn, you reduce the Digivolution cost of this Digimon when it becomes a Puppet Digimon by 1. And then its inheritable is all your opponent's security Digimon gain minus 3k DP. So just to help to clear out through the DP situation, but it's a really good way to get into your Digivolution line for a reduced cost, which is why I definitely wanted to keep this in here. Ponchesmon White, on play, you can trash 1 Puppet traded card from your hand and then draw 2 cards. So simple draw power. It's the real reason I like having this card. It's for its inheritable, which is Reboot. And with how this deck structures itself, as the more you climb, that Reboot comes in handy really well in its short term. But in its long term, there are other ways to manipulate things for your benefit. But for right now, I love rocking this Reboot. Then there's blockers, and then you get the blockers Reboot, so you can swing, and then on your opponent's turn, it can go back into unsuspended, so they can suspend for blocking. The next card up is the actual blocker in the deck, and that's Ponchesmon Black. You can, on deletion, discard 1 Puppet traded card, then draw 2 cards. So similar to White, Ponchesmon White, for its ability, while it's not an on play, it's more so of a reaction-esque effect to when it's being deleted. And since it's a blocker with really low stats, it's going to really get in some uses there, because you can then just block with the Ponchesmon Black, let it get deleted, and then draw 2 cards from it being trashed. So it does save you on some troubles there. From that, those are my rookies. We go into the next wave, which is my champions, my level 4s. These are just placeholders for right now. I'm not gonna lie. The Taboo Catmon is just here for fill-in. That's literally what it's for. There's other options. There's better ways of things that I could be running. But just for right now, I'm running this because that's what I have access to. When I get the better Shushumon, when I get the Korikakamon, I'll be putting her in here as well to help out with the deck too, because those are just better options. Speaking of Shushumon, let's talk about Shushumon. EX7 Shushumon is here to basically help me put our Tamer Ryza onto the field as soon as possible. And with the variations of Ryza too, you can easily get 2 of them onto the board through 2 separate Shushumons being digivolved onto the field. Now, the next one up is Shushumon from the starter deck. With the security ability to play a Liberator traded card from your hand at a cost of 4 or less without paying the memory cost. Since your Tamer is a Liberator card, you can easily drop her onto the field. And the Overclock ability to delete a token or Digimon with Puppet to allow this card to attack while unsuspended. Can be beneficial in some cases if you want to rush into things or you just want to just hit for the damage. Um, and it's like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just that, of course, you're not going to who she is. It's I mean to who Shushumon is. It's just the whole rush into thing, and even though sometimes we may not like our starter deck cards, Shushumon can come in handy, especially with its ability to just play the Liberator and help you out, speed up your deck's consistency or fix some consistency issues. We're going to move into our ultimates, and we have the 2 copies of Cendrillmon from ST19. The on play when Digivolving, you can reduce one of your opponent's Digimon's DP by 3k, and then if there are 3 or more Digimon, then you can reduce it by another 3k, so that's 6k in total. The other ability, of course, is the protection effect of the Inheritable. To win this card will lead the field or battle other than your effect, you can delete a token or another puppet Digimon to keep it in play. It's a simple ability just to keep Cendrillmon on the field so you can continue the stacks. But no, actually, there's no negative to it. Even the main effect is not a negative because you can, Digimon on play the Cendrillmon through an effect. Because I know there's some Digimon that do it, and then just be able to get rid of things as soon as possible, especially a lot of the floodgates. Speaking of some more stuff, we have Cendrillmon from EX7 with the Overclock ability, and then the Wind Digivolving, allowing you to play a level 3 puppet Digimon from your hand without paying its memory cost. So you can speed up some more of the searchers and set up things. This is why you definitely need more copies of the structure deck, so you can get more pieces to it that you can play around with. Now, speaking of structure deck, we're going to move into my level 5. That's the 1 copy of Shinmonzemon, the 3 copies of Shinmonzemon, just to fill in for Haguyamon and more Cendrillmon. It's more so this Digimon is meant for Numemon and Monzemon decks because of the Armor Purge, the on player when Digivolving. It does help you get a puppet, but even still, this feels like a card that needs to be focused with Monzemon and Numemon based decks. I only really have it here, like I said, just to fill in for the pieces. Again, filling in for the pieces, we have the new Cendrillmon from BT22 with Overclock. She has the on player when Digivolving. You may play a puppet. You may play one of her familiar tokens onto the field. On deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon then gets a minus 3k DP, and all turns once a turn with their ability to then delete one of your if one of your other cards are deleted, you may activate one of this Digimon's on Digivolving effects, and that's basically just to help you spam with the tokens so you can overclock. Which is still not a bad move. Just once I get multiples of her, then I'll run more of her. And then there's also the EX9 or EX7 variant that's really, really good. It's the EX7 one, but it's really, really expensive right now. Then we have Cendrillmon from the starter deck. Cendrillmon starter has Overclock in her ability, which is, what the whole purpose of this deck is. Then in addition to that, she's blocker. And this is something that I want to combo with her and the Ponchesmon, because the Ponchesmon can reboot her, and then she's already a blocker. Now, her Wind Digivolving effect is, of course, to make the familiar token, and then on deletion, I think it's the on deletion effect to the token where it reduces the opponent's DP by 3k, so it just tries to make itself a free swigger. I wish I had the familiar token. It's just like a little mouse looking thing to reflect off the whole Cinderella lore behind Cendrillmon in them. But unfortunately, I don't have any tokens because you have to buy box toppers to get the token. get the box toppers and they only come in the actual boxes. So those are a thing. Outside of this is pretty much just what my lineup is, and it definitely will have its room for improvement once I get all the other pieces to it from my shop, or if I order the other cards. All right, I'm gonna move everything here out of the way for the Digimon, because we're now gonna go into the Tamers, and first off is of course Ariza from ST19. She's your memory jumper, which y'all know how I feel about my memory jumpers. I love me a memory jumper. Then on her other ability is that when an effect of yours was to delete a token, when an effect would be, when an effect plays any of your tokens or puppet traded Digimon, you can send this tamer to get that Digimon rush, meaning that it can attack the turn it is played. It's not similar to Blitz, where it can attack, because I believe those are two different setups, but it's still a really good effect if like you're just getting things off the ground and trying to build up your swings, or just trying to swing in for things. Rush pretty much is one of those effects that Blitz is just more better, if anything. Then we have, no, I think Rush and Blitz are pretty much the same thing. Can attack it, yes, pretty much the same thing. Anyway, we have Asara Kinosaki, Akari Kinosaki from EX7. If your opponent has the Digimon in the field, gain 1 memory. If any of your token or puppet Digimon will be deleted, you can spin this tamer to then play a level 3 or puppet traded Digimon from your hand without paying the memory cost. This is basically to help the Shushu's, the Hanimon, the Shushumon, all of that, because a lot of them have the Shumon, the Shushumon, the Shumons and the Hanimons and stuff, so they can activate their on-play abilities. With that, there is of course a Ariza from from DT22. I just want multiples of her so that I can play multiples of that card. Yellow memory boost to help thin the deck out and to get into more pieces with a nice memory jump over in its effect. The physical training to also help us thin out the deck. Not as big as memory boost, but enough there to help you and then be able to turn around and use its ability to help delay. Reduce your digivolution costs, so you don't have to really worry about how much memory you're going to be paying. Especially between a memory gainer and a memory setter, you're perfectly fine. The last card is the yellow scrambles, and I use this to pick up a lot of my rookies to trigger their on-play effects. And then also its ability to help me go into my digivolution stuff if need be. The thing about Yellow Scramble is I don't really think I'm going to see myself continue to run Yellow Scramble in this deck. I think Yellow Scramble, if I get multiples of it, maybe then I'll split it between this and Redamon. But I kind of don't really think this deck needs the Yellow Scramble, because really what does it do except for reduce Digivolution costs? Most cards in here are going to help me do that, or gave me the memory enough to stay around. So, yeah, while I'm just, sleeping myself together, that's going to round up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my little visit through Cendrillmon. I did say Cendrillmon will get a deck soon. Just don't, count on it anytime soon. I got to make some thumbnails, and I still got to get some stuff together for some of my older videos, because a lot of things are lacking. But I do appreciate you guys for coming and watching. It's always appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, because that helps me out tremendously. You can hit me up in social media accounts, because my social media accounts are in the description as well. But you can also be able to hit the notification bell to be informed when I upload more of my content. And my socials, they're right there too. And you also hit the subscribe button, because that helps me out as well. I'm only a few away from 400, so every little bit counts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. HBJ signing out. Take care.